So this will be the test.
God, you're bright in that sun.
Yeah, but I need a tan. I need to get as dark as you. Otherwise, I'm just not going to be as attractive to the ladies.
I mean,
They like them dark-skinned men.
I don't. You know what? No, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Cause I don't have an answer to that.
What? I mean, it's true.
Like, honestly, like...
Look, I don't see pale men getting hit on all the time.
I don't get hit on all the time, and I'm a dark guy. Well...
Come on. I know you get hit on
Well, I
all
was
the
gonna say,
time.
like, if I go out into, like a big public setting where we're, like, there's groups of people, yeah, I get hit on, but that's not as common as... I don't know. I have nothing to follow this up with, honestly. Nothing. Because I can't give an argument as to, like, whether or not they do or don't. But... honestly, though, Russia.
Oh, yeah, you want to talk about Russia?
Dude, I do want to talk about Russia.
Yeah, we can talk about Russia. You should start us off and get me back in them, because we were just talking about Russia.
We were just
That's why we
talking
decided
about
to pull the
Russia.
camera out. Which, we're going back to a more old school setup where we're using the phone camera.
Although, I think the phone camera actually probably looks really nice.
It's a good camera.
But the
wind just caught it.
The wind just took it away. All right. So
Yeah, now we're on the same level of quality as all the late night talk show hosts.
hey,
Which
except for we never do ours late night.
No, we always do while the sun's out. Well, you know, I mean, there's been a few we've recorded at night.
At night, but not late night. It's like always like 8 to 9
Yeah, because
o'clock.
I normally go to bed around 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now that winter's over, 8 or 9 o'clock will still be...
Daytime.
yeah, well, 8 or 9 it'll be sunset.
It'll look pretty outside when we're doing this.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Oh, but hey, all right. Before I do begin, we are in a new setting, as you can tell by the background. Lovely.
Yeah,
background.
welcome to the fence.
Yeah, this is
The
great.
half fence.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the half fence.
Welcome to the half fence.
But anyways, what was I talking about with Russia?
Well, I want to say first off that we've been ahead of the curve here at the Bear Thing show, where we started recording with this whole like low quality
Terrible
just a camera,
audio. I
like,
hope you're
not
enjoying
really,
this.
Not really a microphone. We have a microphone, we just don't use it because we haven't figured it out.
We're not technological.
Yeah, we're not savvy with all this. That's Bear Thing's job. He knows how to do all that, and
I know what they look like.
Yeah.
And I think you know what they look like, right? Yeah. Like
Which ones?
Maybe just our microphone.
I know what our microphone looks like. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And I know what the stick ones look like, and I know what the I know what the Bob
Ross?
Bob Barker. I know the Bob Barker microphone. I know what that looks like.
I don't know what the hell that looks like. What is a
It's
Bob
like a
Barker?
really, really thin stick. Really, really skinny.
Oh, you're talking about the little tweeter looking ones where you're like, what the?
It's really long and really thin, but then
Yeah.
with just a little circle on the top of it.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking
That's
about.
what Bob Barker used. So I know what those look like.
I'm really assuming that they are not actually called Bob Barker microphones.
No, I have no idea what they're called, but Bob Barker's the only person I've ever seen use one. So, well, and then now the guy that runs it now.
Well, I'm gonna sound like in the sake of sounding like a moron. Who the heck is Bob Barker?
Bob Barker?
Yeah.
The host of, well, he's the former host of
Is he the...
Price is Right.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Wheel of Fortune.
No.
Okay.
No, that's, I'm not even going to pretend I know him.
I don't know who that is either. I don't know any of their names.
I'm not going to pretend I know that
I've seen
guy.
all those shows and been like, man, those people are great.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend that I know that guy.
I'm pretty sure they say their names in every episode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Wheel of Fortune was never. Okay.
Okay, defense of Wheel of Fortune, at least of my side for not watching it as much as like other people, as I would only see it when I'd come home from school.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, what's on? Well, if the cartoons were on, I would watch Wheel of Fortune. But by the time that I was watching it, it was like halfway through the episode.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even see it anyways.
Well, see, because I was homeschooled, I had a daily routine of watching Price is Right, Reba.
Dude, Reba!
And
I like that.
Jag. So I'd watch Price is Right, Reba, and Jag just about every day during school.
What is Jag?
Jag?
Yeah.
It's a Navy courtroom drama.
So nothing like MASH.
No, nothing like MASH.
Okay. Yeah.
I would watch MASH a lot too.
MASH is a great
as part
show.
of my daily school.
how was that school? Like, I was homeschooled too for a while, and you know what my TV consumed of? Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown.
Judge Judy. I would watch a good bit of Judge Judy.
And there was one other show I would
Judge
watch.
Joe Brown. I usually didn't stick around for that one. I got back to work.
See, I know. I was told to homeschool, and I just didn't do that. My parents were like, we're going to make you govern yourself, which is a bad choice.
Hello?
Hi, how are you? This is Angela.
Hi,
Hey, Angela.
I'm going to bleep that or
Plenty
something.
of that. Huh? Why?
I don't know. Who's Angela?
It's a telemarketer.
Hey, Angela, you are on the Bear Thing Show. Please speak again next time you get a chance.
I hung up on her.
Damn it.
I hung up on the robot. I don't want to talk to robots. I don't like talking to robots.
I love talking to robots.
Robots are the worst.
All right, so Russia.
Oh, but I was gonna. You're right. Speaking of Russia, I didn't finish. We're ahead of the curve. We're ahead of the curve
How is that
because.
speaking of Russia, that's nothing
Well,
to do
you
with
just
Russia.
reminded me that I didn't finish my point of we're ahead of the curve here on the Bear Thing Show, because we've been doing this kind of gimmick for a while, where it's like low tech, low quality kind of thing.
You call it a gimmick.
Yeah, it's not a gimmick. It's really just we don't know what we're doing. But shh, it's a gimmick. It's totally a gimmick. This is intentional.
We do this on purpose.
Yeah, this
guys.
is very intentional. And now all these, Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel,
Jimmy Fallon.
I don't remember who else there is.
What's the tall carrot top head guy?
I don't know if he's doing it. I haven't been paying attention to him. Conan,
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been paying attention to Conan recently. But now they're all copying us.
How do so many people know these people's names and like know what their show's about and stuff like that? Like, I don't know.
It's late night talk
I know their
show.
names.
It's about the same thing. They all
Yeah,
talk
but
about the same
I know
thing.
their names, and so many people are like, "Do you watch SNL?" And it's like,
No,
what exactly is SNL? Exactly.
I haven't watched SNL in years.
See-
I've watched a few of their sketches and everything, and I'm just like, these aren't funny.
What am I
it's not
doing with my
funny.
life, Austin?
What are you doing with your life?
The reason I ask is because, okay, so talking to friends and people and stuff like that, like, they'll ask questions like the SNL one, and then, like, and then I have friends who talk about video games, and then friends who talk about animes, and, like, just, all of the politics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I know a little bit about all of these, right? But, like,
Yeah. That's
not
good.
enough to actually hold a true conversation about
that's not
any
good.
of them.
You should definitely have enough information on the things that your friends like. to
Yeah,
hold a
I
conversation.
should. That's why I'm asking. What am I doing? It's like they'll ask about the SNL. Don't know anything about that. They'll talk about freaking late night shows. Have no clue anything about any of them. I don't know half of them. And then they'll talk about freaking video games. I'm like, okay, I can get you into some video games, and I can talk about some video games.
Yeah.
I can talk about anime, but specific animes. Like, I watch Slice of Life. Freaking love Slice of Life.
Yeah. That's
But like,
that's the one genre that I had a very hard time getting into.
see, like, I don't like horror animes.
Yeah.
And which
I don't
a lot of my
But I
friends-
don't like horror.
Yeah, but a lot of my friends like horror animes. Like, other than you, like, a lot of them like horror animes. I'm like, action animes? Okay, so, like, we could list off on one hand all the action animes I actually genuinely like. All right, Hunter x Hunter, My Hero Academia.
I haven't seen either of those.
What's the other one? Naruto.
Yeah.
And
Never finished it.
Is it wrong to pick up chicks in a dungeon?
Haven't watched it.
Yeah, those are the four that I can think of right offhand. That I'm like, these are action animes that I actually genuinely like.
What about that? Is it Food Wars?
That's not an action anime,
Isn't it?
No.
It seems like it's shot like an action anime.
It's shot like a porno.
I watched one episode of it and I was like, this is what people like.
It's softcore porn.
This is what people like. Okay.
Like, I know Christy and I really
moved on from it.
Her and I were talking about it, and both of her and I like it, but it's a softcore porn. It really is what it is. They're like, here, try this peanut butter. The peanut butter wraps around them, and they lose their clothes. They're like, ah! You're like, what is happening?
Okay, yeah, I don't remember that at all. I just remember I watched the first episode, and I was like, this is boring.
Dude,
I'm
no,
gonna
the first
move on.
episode is like nothing like the rest of it. The rest of the
okay.
series gets really freaking weird.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
there's tentacle
That
porn at some point.
That explains why a lot of people I know are into it.
It gets really weird. And you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, this is an odd show.
Yeah, no, not for me. The action animes I like, DBZ. Well, Dragon Ball I like better, but so just Dragon Ball in general. I've watched all of it.
I know a lot about Dragon Ball. I'm not a fan of it.
Naruto, I really enjoyed Naruto, and then JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that's it for the action.
I saw a JoJo meme.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It was actually, I didn't know it was a JoJo meme until I watched it like for the 5th time, because I was like, he's saying something here. What the heck is he saying? Because like it starts off with this black guy and his like group of friends all chilling out, and they're watching, I guess, a friend play a video game, and he does some boss ass thing, and like we don't see what he does, but then the rest of them like, yeah, and one guy's in the kitchen coughing. Okay, and then the other one, then he's like, dude, you did such a great job, high five. Starts running towards him, and the other dude looks and sees him and is like, no, and then like teleports in front of him and is like, says something in Japanese, and the dude stops and he's like, and does his fist like this, and then a stand appears beside him and says something, and he's like, has a spray bottle and goes, as he goes, no! He just flies back, and I was like,
okay,
is this supposed to be funny? So like I've watched it a couple of times, then I was like,
oh, it's JoJo.
Oh my god, it's JoJo.
Yeah. Alright, yeah.
Like, so for you, because of you, it's the only reason I even got that meme.
Yeah, I made you watch a few episodes.
Yeah, like without that, I would have been like, this is the dumbest.
You even watched, I think, the last 5 episodes of season 2 with me.
Yeah, I've watched JoJo completely out of whack.
Yeah, which is fine. You don't have to watch it in order.
Good.
It has a consistent storyline, but I've been trying to convince people that are getting into it. I'm like, no, man, just start from season 3. And they're like, but if it's not, I'm like, it follows through, but you don't need it.
I don't think it's seriously linear as much as it's more like, did you ever read those books by Mark something or another? Wrote the Circle series, the red, green, black, and whatever. Yeah. And like you can start anywhere in those book series.
Yeah, when you finish it all connects.
Yeah. So no matter where you start off, that's why I feel like JoJo in that sense, because it does feel like you can watch it from what I've played.
You can watch from any episode and get a feel for what the show is. But there are certain episodes where I'm like, ooh, if you watch that one, because like there was one episode I watched whenever I hadn't gotten into it yet, and I was like, okay, it's just like every other anime.
Yeah.
When I watched the episode, but that was because it was one of the first 2 seasons, and the first 2 seasons are very much any other anime. It's when they introduce stands in season 3 that it becomes its own thing entirely, and it's so like, oh, this is great.
Right, they didn't have stands at the beginning.
Exactly.
They just had like them having powers or whatever.
Come on, where they just used chi.
Dude, my so a manga I've been reading finally showed up on Crunchyroll. It's now a Crunchyroll and Webtoons exclusive.
What are Webtoons?
It's the comic manga series that people. So for artists,
my Crunchyroll account finally got canceled.
Have you been paying for it?
Yeah, I didn't even know. Apparently, I'm how many years? 8 years. I've been paying for it for 8 years.
You don't really watch Crunchyroll anymore, do you?
No, I haven't watched Crunchyroll probably in about 8 years.
I still pay for my Crunchyroll, but I periodically will jump on there and watch, like, the new Digimon 2020 came out, and I'm excited about that, because I don't know many people who are Digimon fans.
They made a new Digimon, that's cool.
Dude, no, it's a reboot, but with the new art style and everything else, so I'm super excited.
Digimon
and then,
is the new theme song?
Yes, there's a new theme song, and there's a new way of how they transform the Digimon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was really interesting, and I was like, I like this. It's fantastic. And then, but of course, my comic that I was reading on Webtoons, I was like, dude, this needs to hurry up and become an anime. And then there was rumors about it for the past, like, 4 years, and someone even talked about a game. Yeah. And I was like, dude, this would be fantastic. And then finally, Webtoons and Crunchyroll was like, here it is. Here's the first episode. And I was like, what? So I watched it 2 nights ago. And then last night, another episode came out, and I was like, yes! So I watched it. And you know what? Holds up. So far, it holds up really well. The art style is weird because it's like old school art, where like you can see the big, bold, black lines for their outline. Yeah. But the part that's weird is the creatures and the surrounding world is like new style art.
Like definitely digital?
Well, no, like new style, like drawings.
Yeah, well, all the new style is that it's done in like not Flash, but it's done in such a it's
like how Chrissy draws her stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, where it's like that's one of the things that I've made me really not like the newer anime is because I'm watching it and I'm like, this is just computers. Like this is like I only have to draw the model once, and then we can just move the pieces around and make it in whatever pose we want for each frame.
I guess, but
and I don't like the way it looks. It just doesn't.
It looks so clean.
Yeah, it does.
It looks so clean.
It does,
and
but
crisp.
that's even the harder part I had with Dragon Ball Super. As much as I like Dragon Balls, I was like, ugh, I miss it being framed animation. Like,
see, I
like that old animation style.
See, that's the same thing that I've had with like Inuyasha. Going back and watching all those old shows, I have such a hard time watching them.
And I found if I watch the newer stuff and I downgrade the quality, I can bear it. Yeah, so
you're the odd man out.
So it's like it's 1080p and it's super crisp and everything's nice, and I'm like, okay, let me put it in 480 and lower the
quality of this. Oh my, wow.
You know, instead of it being in widescreen, I'm like, let me put it in, 4:3 and at 480p. And I'm like, now I can watch it. Like, now it looks like Dragon Ball again.
That's terrible.
What? How's that terrible? It's my preference.
It is your preference. It's just an odd preference.
It is. I agree.
But like,
it's the only way to watch things, though. Just like I prefer playing games on CRT.
Why?
They're better. Because all the colors smudge.
You're also colorblind, all right?
Yeah.
So like...
But all the colors smudge, and there's a lot of bleed.
Dude, I played on your PS4 to play freaking Apex.
Yeah. Throws you off a lot, right?
Dude, I had such a hard time. I was like, I don't know what's people and what's just random things in the distance.
Yeah.
Because like on mine, I have a hard time with grass sometimes. Like the grass that's right in my view when I'm zoomed in, it'll sometimes look like a person way off in the distance, and I'm like, haha, oh, that's grass. Whatever, and move on. Yours, I had no issues with that. I just had a hard time telling what was things.
Yeah.
It was just like,
yeah, welcome to my world.
Your world is awful.
Welcome to it. It's not great, but I like it.
I mean, to each his own.
I like it, but I've had 28 years of experience in it, so eventually you get used to it,
It just becomes reality.
Yeah, you just figure out how to work with it.
At what point did you realize that you were colorblind?
I was 8.
You were 8?
Yeah, I was younger than that. No, I might have been 8.
I would assume like elementary they would have been like, hey, what color is this? What color is this?
I took an entrance exam to go into school because I went to school technically because of my birthday.
Yeah. You had a weird time that you had to actually go into school, right?
Right, that's why I graduated at 17.
Yeah.
So they we're like, well, we're not sure. We're gonna, like technically he can go, but he's not old enough.
Yeah, I had to.
So we're gonna give him a test, and I took the test, and then they were like, okay, yeah, he can go in or whatever. And then it was somewhere, I think in that first year or so, there was a thing where it was like, I still remember it because of the fact that it was a very dramatic, impactful moment in my life.
That you were like, I can't see colors.
Yeah, exactly. So I will never forget this test. But the test was, I don't even think it was a test. I think it was just the daily learning material. It's not even a test, right? Like, it's literally just like, hey, today, here's what you're doing. And it was, here's a bunch of bunnies, and draw a line between the bunny and then the color. Right, and so it was like the names of the colors, like green, blue, red, whatever, and then the bunny, pink, black, whatever, and then the bunnies, and I drew.
I'm just imagining so many bunnies going to the same line.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Where I'm like, oh well, that one goes here, that's that color. Like, oh, and this one's also that color, and and I was like, where apparently it was supposed to be that each color matched up with a single bunny. And I was like, I thought there was just extras. Like, I thought it was a test. Like, it was an actual, like, hey, do you
actually know your colors?
Yeah.
There's a bunch of the same colored bunnies.
Yeah. I'm like, yep, that's this.
It's like, okay, yeah.
And then that's when they had a talking with my parents. And then
it's like, does your son not know?
Because they were gonna actually, no, it wasn't even, I think they were actually going to be like, I think we need to hold him back a year.
Yeah, because
they're like, what?
Because clearly he doesn't know his colors.
Yeah, like he doesn't know his colors. He's like, that's crazy, right? And they're like, they get home and they're like, hey, we're gonna do a colorblind test. I'm like, what? What you talking about?
What's a colorblind test?
What you talking about, Willis? And they're like, come on, sit down at the computer. And then I went through the process where it's like it's a circle with a bunch of circles in it.
Yeah.
And I went through that process, and they're like,
how did you take that test recently?
Yeah, and they're just like, okay, this one, and I click, and they're like, okay, here's your 4 options, and I'm like, okay, there's a 4 in there, and they're like, no. I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, and it's like, all right, there's a 2 in that one, no. Okay, there's a, oh my god, it's a 5, there's a 5, I can clearly see a 5, and they're like, nah, yeah, there's a 5 if you're colorblind.
Oh my god. It's like, if you're colorblind, here's a 5.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, oh my god, like, so even when, like, because I would get really, like, I would see it or whatever, like, the most vivid one was that, like, we were going through this whole thing where I'm just failing after failing, which I know you've known me for a long
so
time.
that had to be
hits
dramatic.
Me hard. It hits me hard to be wrong.
Yeah.
Like, to be, like, not good at something. And so then all of a sudden I'm like, yes, victory! There is a boat, you know, like it's a boat with it's a sailing boat. There's a sailing boat in this one. And they're like, no, there's not. It's an 8. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. If you see the sailing boat, you're colorblind.
So you're getting all the right answers for colorblind.
Yeah, but everything wrong for I could not see.
Dude, you know what? The best part about that, because it makes me think of when Michael found
But they
out he
didn't
was
hold me back.
colorblind.
They didn't hold me back.
Yeah, because you're colorblind. It's not that you're wrong. It's that you just can't see them right.
Yeah.
So it's not that you were stupid or anything like that.
No,
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
But no, Michael, finding out he was colorblind, he was like 18.
Oh God, that's late. How did he get through the test I took?
Because his colorblindness isn't the same as yours. It's like, it's a variation. I don't know how colorblind works.
Well, there's 3 main types, but the thing is, it's not.
It's
the
like a
same.
degree or spectrum that happens with it.
Yeah,
But
it's not the same because I think I'm technically detrinophia or
something
like
weird
that.
like that. I remember it being
and detrinopia, I think, or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but there's certain video games where I put it on that, and it's like, oh, this isn't right at all. Like this is not.
Maybe it was made by colorblind people.
And then I'm like, okay, well, let's try a different setting, and I can use a different setting, and it works. But then on other games, Detrinopia works perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Everything is exactly.
Does it work well on Apex for you?
No, I just got used to it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not perfect.
All right, but no, Michael's. All right, so
Yeah.
18, and he went and took his freaking test for the Air Force.
Yeah.
And they were doing it and everything else like
licking
that.
me.
I was in the car.
Stop licking me, dog.
I was in the car, and apparently he threw such a fit about it that he was like, no, this is wrong. I know that I'm seeing the right colors, blah, blah, blah. No one can see what's happening here because this is not this. And so my parents asked if they could bring me in because they're like, I'm pretty sure James isn't colorblind. So I come in, I'm like, dude, I'm like 8, 9, something like that. And I walk in, I'm like, what's happening? And they're like, hey, James, what do you see there? I'm like, that's an 8. And they switch over. They're like, "What's that?" I was like, "That's a 6." They're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "That's a 7." There's that. This. And then so I just went through all of just bam, 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 bam. And Michael's like, "No, they're not." Like he was in such denial.
No, I would, dude. If I was 18 and figuring out, I would have probably been like,
Yeah,
no,
dude.
you guys are all messing with me.
You guys fucking with me hard right now. No, these are right.
Yeah.
But no, like, he found out. But again, it's because it's such a low degree. He was able to go through everything else. But he would have issues with colors when he told me later on that he did have issues in like elementary with colors, but it wasn't bad enough. It was just like sometimes you're just like, why'd you use that color? And he was like, because that's the color it needs to be. And they're like,
suspicious.
Yeah, because it was just close enough that I was like, these aren't the colors that normal people would draw these. But like, it's close to that color.
And it's like, I've used brown for the grass. And it's like, brown? It's like, yeah. I guess dead grass is brown.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I was like, oh, okay, because I was curious as well. How did he make it all the way to 18?
Yeah, I guess that works.
So like, I'm just imagining all his teachers being that suspicious, just like,
well, okay.
It's like, I'll set this as an answer, like Coach Z or something.
I do like the idea that he draws things and then his teacher makes excuses for him.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, brown grass. Oh, dead grass is brown, and it's like, why did you draw your family yellow? And it's like, maybe his family's Asian.
That's racist as shit.
Hey, it's not me, it's the teacher.
It's a scenario.
The teacher's racist. I'm not racist.
Oh God, I've been spitting up so much, like I feel like a baby. Because like seriously, I was talking to Nova and I looked down and spit just I'm like,
Yeah, she
dang it.
deserves it.
Does she? I mean, she does spit on other people.
So, speaking of Russia,
right? We're eventually gonna get there. So what were we talking about prior to all this nonsense?
Russia,
I know.
low tech.
Oh, the fact that they're doing so well throughout this crisis.
Oh yeah, Russia. Yeah, they are doing well.
It blew my mind because like I talked about the meme, which the meme that I saw.
What crisis?
That doesn't matter at this point, right?
There's a crisis?
But the meme that I saw was like,
Are you talking about
the reason our country is doing so well is because our president is a nuclear physicist or whatever nonsense. And I was like, okay. And then it's like, but your president is a reality host, reality TV show host. And it's like, yeah. And so it's like, okay, so you were clearly taking a dig at Trump, who I honestly thought was doing okay in this time.
I haven't heard that one before. Taking a dig.
You know.
Taking a dig at.
Jab, egg, being
jab, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what other words to
Taking
use.
a dig. Alright, yeah. Must be some of this modern, because you're on the internet more than I am. You know the social.
Honestly, I don't know a lot of people
me.
that say dig though. So
is that? I figured that was some new slang.
No, I don't know a lot of people. It's an old slang, taking a dig, or maybe it's a European slang. Dude, I watch so much stuff that's not American.
Well, yeah. All right, so you might be. Yeah, you could be picking up on theirs.
Yeah. So like, anyways, but yeah, no, it made me laugh because it was like you're doing this to Trump just to be, I guess, shitting on America. Which, I mean, screw the rest of you countries. No, I'm serious. No, I'm not serious.
No, I'm serious.
Anyways.
Screw the rest of you guys. I'm serious.
But no, like, I don't think he's doing the greatest. No, I don't even know about the crisis situation, but I don't think he's doing the greatest as a president as a whole. But like, he's doing better than half the other presidents we've had in the past 16 years.
Since I've been alive, he's done the best.
Exactly. So like, he's a crazy man.
I agree with you. I don't think he's done the best job he could do. But when you compare him to the last few presidents we've had,
yeah, like
he's done
as much
better
as people
than
want
any
to talk
of them
about
have.
Obama being whatever. Like, they might as well have said he's the second coming.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
And it's like, they might as well have said that. And it's like, he wasn't that good of a president.
No, he did a lot of freaking crap wrong.
He did a lot of underhanded crap.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, whatever. But
so did Bush, and so did freaking
Clinton,
Clinton.
and so did freaking Bush before, too.
Yeah, and Bush
so, like,
Sr.
it's
Exactly.
like,
Which that's my lifetime. That's basically your lifetime, too.
yeah, so it's like, okay, well, screw all them.
Yeah, they
It's
were
like,
all awful.
And so, like, we have this president who, in his words, was trying to be a person for the people. I don't know if he did a great job at it. I don't know. I do know. I don't think he has. But he's at least trying. Now, he's getting shut down left and right for things that he wants to do because I know we don't agree entirely. Some of the things he wants to do, in my opinion, aren't the best things to do for America.
Well, like what? Like what?
Like,
you wouldn't be surprised. I probably will agree with you.
Like, well, the thing is, I don't entirely
I think
agree
you'd be
with
shocked at the things
like,
that I actually think Trump's done right.
The southern border walls, I kind of see where he's coming from. I don't think the way he approached it was right. Like, I see, because the thing is, we talked about
which way he approached it. What do you mean
with building the wall and everything like that? The way that he talked about it.
Get your foot off. Freaking don't block the camera.
I would have blocked you, right.
Don't block the
There.
camera.
But anyways, like with the way he did the border walls, the way he wants to do the border walls.
Yeah.
I don't agree with because like, fine, if you really want to stop it, do what Russia did. I don't always agree with what Russia does.
Walls.
Yeah, they do have walls, but they still can get people through. Anyways, just shoot all of them.
I don't think the American public is ready for that. And I don't believe you. I feel like you're joking. I don't believe you on that.
Okay, yeah, no. Don't
I don't think the American people would be okay if we were like, no, we're just going to shoot anybody that walks up.
This just comes through. Yeah, no. You got 10 feet to step back. You got to step back. I'm going to shoot you.
That's definitely a gray area for me because on one hand, it's like, Russia did it, and I see where they're coming from because they gave plenty of warning, and they said, no, we are not accepting anybody. And then they even had miles out signs in 10 different languages.
If I'm not mistaken.
And then barriers.
It was like 10 to 20 miles that they had before you actually got.
I don't know if it was
because
that
I was
far,
almost positive it was 10
it
miles.
might be. I don't think it was, but it might be. But then I know they also had like barbed wire, and they put a bunch of crap out to be like, no. And then whenever they started getting closer, they just shout at them over the megaphone, like, turn back now or we will kill you. And then if they kept coming, they're pow, 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 pow.
Yeah, no. As the American people,
and
like,
I don't know if the American people would be okay with that.
No, they would not be. We're not okay with guns in our own country. So, like, shooting random people.
That's so divided.
I know.
I'm okay with guns. I think more guns should be in our country, but we've been there before.
Yeah, and that's not a conversation topic I'm going to hit. But, like, I'm okay with guns, but I'm not okay with us just having more and more of them. But no, nonetheless, though, like, I don't really have exact specifications of what I think he shouldn't done.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wrap up part 1 pretty soon.
Oh yeah, but it's just mainly because I'm sitting here looking at all he's done, and I'm like, he's done a good job, just handling situations that have occurred. And the problem is that he's ran into is maybe I would think he would have done a better job. And it's not his fault. It's the fact that other people are stopping him from doing that. We've had riots after riots after riots, and then we've had the World War III scare. We had this, that, and the other. And it's like,
well, World War IV. World War III was technically the Cold War.
Yeah, that's still not considered World War.
Well, it is in the documents. Like, the Cold War, according to, like, the CIA and all that stuff, is the World War III.
Does the CIA determine what we do with wars? I thought that was a UN thing.
The CIA is pretty much the one running all the wars.
Yeah, because they're dickheads. So... I mean, our country is probably the most corrupt and ridiculous country in the world.
Even
but I love it.
I know a guy. I worked with a guy once that was a veteran, and he was like, I once received a medal. I forget what the name of the medal was, but it's a medal you receive for serving during a time of war. And I'm like, wait, what war? And he's like, I don't even know.
So he didn't go shoot and kill people?
No, he was like, I had an office job, and all of a sudden, as I'm retiring, they're like, here you go, you served in a time of war. And he's like, when did we declare war? And like,
what did we go into, please? So, you know what?
So, like, that was sometime...
Take this medal, go home.
That was like in, I think he said 99. Something like that, when he got out and he got a medal. I'm like, what?
How long was he in the army or military?
4 or 8 years. Something
So clearly not during a time of actual war.
Yeah, and I'm like, so what? So then that just means, like, if he's getting service medal, so we were in a war.
What about Operation Desert Storm? Does that count?
That was 91. That was like 91 to 93.
So I guess that's technically not even a war.
I don't even think
a skirmish.
No, it was a war.
It's considered a war. Okay.
Yeah, we went to a war with Iraq.
That we never
and
stopped.
Kuwait.
Yeah, Kuwait.
Because they were threatening Israel, and so with Scuds.
You think about that now. Scud missiles versus what we have now. It's like, dude, Scuds.
Really. Yeah. And we went to war to stop that, and I think also something about babies in incubators.
Pardon?
Apparently, the reason we got into the war was because the leader of Iraq was killing babies in incubators.
Were they?
This
is something we'll come back to. No.
Incubators.
We're gonna come back
after
to
the mother
this.
gives birth, they put it in a little incubator pod thing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? At
go.
hospitals, and apparently they were killing those babies, and so we were like, that's why we have to kill them.
All right, that was the show for the day. You guys are fantastic.
We gotta.
Oh, right. Did you tune?
Yeah. I'm white. Of course I tuned.
You tuned the whole time.
I've been tuning off screen. Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Bear thing.
Right.
All right. See y'all next week.